Welcome back, Lovelies. I'm Volpinx, and in the last episode, we finally settled the drama in Orzammar. After the politics, backstabbing, and stone swearing, we crowned King Harrimond and secured the dwarves' support for the Blight. So yes, one royal headache down, an entire darkspawn invasion to go. Between bouts of diplomacy, I also clean up a few side quests, the usual hero housekeeping before saving the world. But now I know it's time to head to Denerim, for the land's meat awaits the nobles' betrayals and enough moral choices to make a Templar sweat. I figured we'd go back to camp, kind of go through the conversations that feel amiss in the last few episodes, because I haven't really stayed in camp, gone through the conversations as needed, and then moved forward. So we're getting close to the end of Dragon Age Origins, in which that is why I want to do the whole camp thing. If I don't wrap up every side quest here, don't worry, I'm sure to tackle them with another character later on with a little bit more research. So let's grab our Grey Warden gear, polish the crown, dust off our boots, and march forward. So let us dive in. So we're going to load game 27, where we left off. I did, as you saw, 28. I was doing this video at another time, and halfway through it crashed. So I was lost at where I was, and it was ahead in the lands meet as such, as I had mentioned beforehand. And there were some conversations that I feel that were, again, amiss, and I want to touch base on those campsite conversations.
So you mentioned you had a son. What happened to him?
I honestly don't know, Alistair. He was taken from me. Such births are seldom, as there are ways to prevent it, but it does happen. And any child born to a Circle Mage belongs to the Chantry.
I didn't know. I'm sorry.
It's all right. It was a long time ago. A very long time ago.
Couldn't you do something about it?
Do what? I was weak from the birthing process, and there was nothing I could do.
Do you think about him?
All the time.
Oh, that's so heartbreaking.
I see it found some augmentation crystals. I was not even aware it knew about them. Well done. So, what does it think? They don't make me look any wider, do they? I find I'm already too wide as it is.
No, they're quite slimming.
It must be the vertical pattern it put them in. Did it know to do that? It must have. I think it should find some more as soon as possible. I want to glitter from ear to ear, so to speak.
Oh, that's nice.
I've watched a lot of humans in my time. It should be aware that I've decided that it is not much like any of them.
That's super. Thanks, Shale.
Surely it must come from some superior lineage, yes? Some breed of flesh creature that has decided to elevate its genetic stock above its natural shortcomings?
My father was the Tyrant of Highever.
Oh, then that must be it. I knew there had to be some reason, it being a human and all. I would appreciate if it didn't spread around that I said anything. Humans might start to get the wrong idea. They might start thinking their race is not completely hopeless.
And we wouldn't want that.
Indeed. Can it imagine the horror? Oh. Now, let us crush something into a fine paste before it starts to think I've gone all soft. Perish the thought. I have a question for it, if it will indulge me. My understanding is that it encountered the smith named Caradin. He who was responsible for the creation of the golems that he had become a golem himself. What I do not know is what became of him. Why did he not return with it? I would have many questions for him.
I'm so sorry he killed himself.
He killed himself? Ah, I would doubt it, but no, I see it is telling the truth. May I ask what became of the Anvil of the Void, assuming that it too still existed?
It was destroyed as Caridin wanted.
Then it was no doubt for the best. With Caridin also goes any chance I might have had of finding answers on my past, I assume. Tell me, did it find out anything from Caridin? Anything at all about how I might have been made?
The Anvil made golems from living souls.
Meaning that I was once a living creature? That seems highly unlikely, and more than a little insulting. Is it certain?
You were once squishy, sad, but true.
Was I forced into this? Or simply glad to abandon a frail body? And more importantly, who was I? I simply must know. I cannot help but believe that answers lie elsewhere in the deep roads. We must look.
I'll see what I can do.
If it can search the deep roads, I may remember something. If not, then I will have to wait.
Oh.
It speaks.
I would have expected golems to be different.
Different? Different than what? Different than a statue? Different than a log? Should I talk in a monotone? Yes, Master, I exist to serve the Master. I shall kill for the Master and only for the Master. Perhaps it expected me to have a booming voice. Recite limericks. I can recite limericks, if it likes.
Are they dirty limericks?
Mostly they involve slaughtering pigeons in creative and invasive manners. I have never met another golem. I have no idea what one might be like, or why I wouldn't be like them. Why? Has it met other golems? Did they not sound as I do?
Other than Caridin, they didn't speak.
And now there shall be no more. I suppose it is for the best. I don't know what other golems might be like, but I am already superior by virtue of my free will. This is a good thing.
I agree. Being a golem would be handy.
Imagine the benefits. No need to eat or sleep or perform other functions. Walk underwater, crush the heads of every opponent. The possibilities are limitless. Barring the occasional 30 years or so of paralysis, there's little to compare. Now stop talking so much. The wagging of its moist little tongue is distracting.
Okay.
It speaks.
I do. I have questions.
It doesn't have better things to do.
Of course not. Of course not. I'm told you killed your former master.
Oh, how interesting. Certainly I remember having a master. My memories of what happened to him are vague.
Vague but non-existent.
Clever and true. Oh, very well. Let me see what I can recall. My former master enjoyed experimenting upon me. I remember that much. There was tinkering with spells, and then the crystals. He was very eager to alter my function, I think.
What sort of experiments?
Bah! I am no mage, and he did not explain himself to me, any more than it would explain itself to a sword. He possessed my control rod, and back then, it would have prevented me from doing anything he did not command me to, no matter how I might have wished to. So what happened? I am unsure. He was experimenting, and then nothing.
Are you sure nothing at all?
There was pain. I do not feel it as soft creatures do, so the memory is an odd one. And then he was gone. I was standing where I was, in the village, and I could no longer move. The villagers came, poked and prodded me in fear, and then realized they could neither move me nor destroy me, so they simply left me. And in time, I forgot I hadn't stood there all along.
That must have been terrible. I'm sorry.
In fact, at first I found it more of a relief. For so many years I'd had to leap to that little toadstool's every command. Get this, pick up that, put it down, pick it up again. The gall! At first I'd hoped he'd simply decided to leave me there paralyzed. An acceptable trade-off. After years passed, I simply stopped caring.
I don't believe you. Yeah, I don't believe you.
Well, good for it. Whatever the mage did seemed to render the control rod useless, for which I should be thankful, yes? And provided it doesn't decide to copy his experiments, not that I would allow it, it has nothing to fear from me. Much.
Sounds good to me.
The things that it fights, and it fights things often, that is a different story. Let us get back to the walking and the fighting. My stone is beginning to itch again.
Oh.
It speaks. It doesn't have better things to do.
Are those crystals on your skin?
I like to think of them as accessories.
Ooh, but what do they do?
I suspect that it is an art that was practiced when golems were more, commonplace. My former master collected whatever lore he could find on the subject. He searched far and wide to collect what crystals he could and then added them. It is not an unpleasant sensation.
So they're decoration? Ooh.
As I understand it, the crystals allow me to alter the flow of magic around me. Wilhelm had hoped to turn me into a battery of mana, something he could tap at will.
Did he succeed?
Not really, although now that I think of it, these attempts may be what caused my disruption. Some of the crystals increase the presence of mana, some absorb or reflect spells. There are various kinds. All I can promise is that should it ever find one of these crystals, I can likely tell it the function and what it would do if added to me.
Sounds promising. Where would I find them?
Wilhelm said they came from the deep roads. So, anywhere such things end up, I suppose. That answers its question, I assume? Unless it has more.
How did you end up in Hunley? Do you remember?
Oh yes, that I remember quite well. My former master, the Mage Wilhelm, he brought me. As I recall, he had acquired some position with whatever lord ruled the land. I, being little more than a glorified possession at the time, was brought along. Oh, how he enjoyed impressing the villagers with me. Gollum snarl at that villager there, be fearsome. And of course, I would have to do it.
But why were you out in front of the tower?
That is where Wilhelm kept me. He wanted me out in the open where I could be frightening like a scarecrow. I was supposed to watch for thieves. Pah! Plus, his wife didn't want me indoors. She said there wasn't room for me. Hag.
I would have thought you enjoyed scaring humans.
I'd have happily stomped them all into paste, and then ripped down their little houses and stomped on them, too. In fact, after 30 years of watching them, I'd do it twice. What I didn't like was being ordered to do it. Dangled in front of those frightened morons like some scary thing. Once I was a statue, it took those villagers years before they'd even approach me. The first one to actually work up the nerve to touch me urinated himself. Ugh.
Ew. You didn't like this Wilhelm, I take it?
He did love using that control rod. Fondled it so much, his wife actually threatened to throw it in the lake. Ha! I would have liked to have seen that. Which reminds me, where did it find the rod? Did it pay a great deal for it?
Not really. It was quite the bargain.
So long as it realizes that I'm inexpensive and not cheap.
Do you remember anything before Hunley?
I traveled with the mage. He did a lot of traveling, I remember that. But where we went, it is rather fuzzy. I remember great battles, fighting many humans long ago. They were all very soft and squishy. And before that, No, there are only images. I was somewhere dark.
Just how old are you exactly?
I have no idea. Wilhelm used to brag that the dwarves stopped making golems centuries ago. I do not age as you soft creatures do. Sadly, my memory is no better. Plus, I get bored and stop paying attention.
Interesting. I'm done asking.
Good. I was just about done talking about it. It does like to have a good chat now and again, doesn't it?
Oh my goodness. Not too bad. Are we done with you?
It speaks.
Obviously.
It doesn't have better things to do.
Well, number one, I believe we did, because he had a mage even before Wilhelm. So how did you watch... No, you watched that village day and night for years?
I do not sleep, so yes. And I thank it for reminding me. Try to imagine, if it will, what it would be like to be surrounded by nothing but boring peasants, all oblivious to it.
Sounds like you were a bit of a voyager.
Oh, yes. It certainly was the height of intrigue to listen to the accounts of how young Dornan had scandalized the village by his purchase of an Orlesian hat. And the argument that those two muddy farmers had over the price of barley for a whole summer. Riveting. And then there were the birds. A whole village full of pigeons and ravens and sparrows all perching on me day in and day out.
Sounds a little messy.
Those foolish villagers would spread birdseed near me, drawing the birds, because they thought having birds perch on me was quaint. Quaint! If there hadn't been the occasional kind soul to scour me clean, I don't care to discuss this anymore.
Oh, I just made it worse. But I can easily fix that.
I have been mistaken.
What do you mean?
You are a soldier worthy to stand among the Beresad. I did not think so when we first met.
Thank you.
You are welcome. The day will come when the Arishok sends us here. On that day, I will not look to find you on the battlefield.
Do you think the Qunari will invade Ferelden?
In time.
There is no point in dwelling on it. We should move on.
Yes?
Speak, then.
Oh, no.
Then I suggest we move on.
Okay.
As you wish.
I have nothing. I have nothing for him. Let's go to Liliana.
Something I can help with?
What would someone like you be doing in Lothering's chantry?
What is meant by someone like me?
You don't seem to belong in a cloister.
Did you think I was always a cloistered sister? The chantry provides succor and safe harbor to all who seek it. I chose to stay and become affirmed.
Her hair seems more brown here than it is red. What did you do before that?
I was a traveling minstrel in Orlais. Tales and songs were my life. I performed, and they rewarded me with applause and coin. And my skill in battle? Well, you pick up different skills when you travel, yes? Yes, of course. Let's move on.
Nice.
I was just thinking about what happened to the elves, and I'm reminded of a song sung to me many years ago. It was when my mother died, and this wise elven woman comforted me and told me that we shouldn't fear death or hate it. Death is just another beginning. One day, we must all shed our earthly bodies to allow our spirits to fly free.
That is comforting.
It's a beautiful sentiment, I think. One that brings peace and hope to the grieving.
That's it? No words after that? Beautiful song. Reminds me of, what is it, the intro of Dragon Age? Were you in that menu screen?
Something I can help with?
Sure. I'd like to talk to you about something.
Yes? What's on your mind?
A lot of things. A lot of things on my mind. This vision of yours.
I knew this would come up sooner or later. I don't know how to explain, but I had a dream. In it, there was an impenetrable darkness. It was so dense, so real. And there was a noise, a terrible, ungodly noise. I stood on a peak and watched as the darkness consumed everything. And when the storm swallowed the last of the sun's light, I fell, and the darkness drew me in.
So this dream... So it's just a dream. Why say it's a vision?
I have had dreams. This was different somehow. When I woke, I went to the Chantry's gardens, as I always do. But that day, the rosebush in the corner had flowered. Everyone knew that bush was dead. It was grey and twisted and gnarled, the ugliest thing you ever saw. But there it was, a single beautiful rose. It was as though the Maker stretched out his hand to say, even in the midst of this darkness, there is hope and beauty. Have faith.
That's just wishful thinking, Liliana. And this made you want to help me.
In my dream, I fell, or maybe I jumped. I'd do anything to stop the blight. I know that we can do it. There are so many good things in the Maker's world. How can I sit by while the blight devours everything?
The blight is the Maker's punishment. Will you defy him? Chantry said the Maker has left us.
He's still here. I hear him in the wind and the waves. I feel him in the sunlight that warms my skin. I know what the Chantry says about the Maker, and what should I believe? What I feel in my heart, or what others tell me?
Believe what feels right to you, Liliana.
Thank you. It's nice to find someone who agrees. I know what I know, and no one will ever make that untrue. Something I can help with? Yes? What's on your mind?
What did you decide to come to Ferelden?
My mother was from Denerim, and I consider myself a Ferelden. Mother served an Orlesian noblewoman who lived here when Orlais ruled. When Orlais was defeated, and the common folk began to resent the presence of any Orlesian, the lady returned to Orlais. She took my mother with her. I was born in Orlais, and did not set foot in Ferelden till much later. Mother was always telling me stories of her homeland. I think she missed it.
What happened to your mother?
Mother died when I was very young.
Oh, that's
Lady
right.
Cecily let me stay with her. I had no one else. She was quite old then, and she had me study music and dance to entertain her. It is unfair that I have more memories of Cecily than my mother.
What was Cecily like?
She was an elderly lady, very refined and proper. She had impeccable manners and taste, more so than a lot of Orlesian ladies. Cecily was also kind. My mother was unmarried and with child. It was scandalous, and Cecily had every right to turn my mother out. She didn't. Strangely, the only thing I really remember of Mother was her scent. She kept dried flowers in her closet amongst her clothes, small white Ferelden wildflowers with a sweet fragrance. Mother called them Andrastis Grace. They were very rare in Orlais. But enough about that. Let us move on. Something I can help with? Yes? What's on your mind?
Do you miss anything about Orlais?
I miss Val Royeaux. Unlike other cities where the people are the lifeblood and the character, Val Royeaux was her own person, and her people little more than decorations. There was always music in Val Royeaux, streaming from the many windows, quiet refrains and triumphant choruses, and always, floating above that all, the chant, coming from the Grand Cathedral. It was magnificent.
Sounds wonderful.
Oh, it would take me a day or two to talk about the many splendors of Orlais, her golden fields, her lush meadows. Of course, there are good things and bad things about Orlais, like anywhere else. Sometimes I miss it dearly, and sometimes I'm glad I'm rid of it. And you will laugh at this, but I miss the fine things I had in Orlais.
What sort of things?
Dresses, fine dresses and furs, and shoes, of course. One can't mingle with nobility with bad shoes, you see. Orlais is very fashionable, almost ridiculously so. But the shoes, living with those ridiculous trends was worth it for the shoes.
Shoes are shoes. They're there to keep feet dry. Ooh, I love shoes. Yes.
When I left Orlais, the fashion was shoes with delicate tapered heels and embellishments in the front. A ribbon, perhaps, or embroidery. In soft colors, of course. It was spring.
Oh, that sounds so lovely.
I had my eye on a pair my shoemaker was working on. It was covered in pale blue silk with amber beads on the toe. The shoes made in Orlais were exquisite. Not at all like these clunky fur-lined leather boots you have in Ferelden. Ugh, just look at them.
I know, right? So ugly and shapeless.
They're sturdy shoes, but sometimes a girl just wants to have pretty feet. Oh, I could talk about shoes all day, but we have things to do, don't we?
Yes. Yes, we do.
Something I can help with? Yes? What's on your mind?
You are a traveling minstrel. Do you have tales to share?
Of course I do. I love stories far too much to keep them to myself. Everyone should be able to benefit from them, I think.
I don't want to go down this road. No. There was
Something
one
I can help with?
below it.
Yes? What's on your mind?
I hear that in Orlais, minstrels are often spies.
Where did you hear this?
I read it in a history book.
And did you not think that this could be historical fact and no longer true? Not all minstrels are spies. Most are just singers and storytellers. But some of them are what we call bards.
And the bards are the spies.
Bards are minstrels and more. Spies, as you say. Some say there is a bard order, but I don't think this is true. Many bards work alone or in small groups, doing the bidding of a patron who pays for their services. If there is an organization behind it all, no one knows who they are.
Do they spy on Ferelden?
Some do. Mostly, it is nobles spying on other nobles. In Orlais, there is much rivalry amongst the highborn. They fight over land, influence, and the favor of the Empress. But they cannot do this openly because it is impolite, and in public, they wear smiling faces and pretend to be civil. In secret, they plot and scheme to destroy each other. It is a game completely meaningless to anyone but its players.
You were a bard, weren't you?
I have revealed too much, it seems, but it doesn't matter what I used to be. It is the past.
But why are you living cloistered sister in Rule Ferelden?
I found myself in Ferelden and sheltered from bad weather in the Chantry. And when the storm passed, I just did not want to leave. I like to say the Maker brought me here.
Nice.
Something I can help with?
There was something. Can you teach me to be a bard?
There's an idea. I've watched you, and I do think you'd find some of my skills quite easy to pick up. Let's just go over there, away from the others. For safety, yes? I expect there shall be daggers flying about willy-nilly for a time.
And then we'll go to Wynne.
So, tell me, how did you become a Grey Warden?
The short story, I met Duncan and he liked me. All Hal massacred my family. Duncan helped me escape that one.
Arl Rendon Howe? The Earl of Amaranthine? Why would he do such a thing to you?
Who knows? He's always been a friend of us Kuslands. I am the daughter of Bryce Kuslan tearing up high ever. Out of jealousy, he wanted high. Oh. Who knows? He's always been a friend of us Kuslans.
You are the last of the Kuslans? I had no idea, my lady.
I always took my family and our name for granted. Hal will pay what he's done to me.
Do not be blinded by your desire for revenge. Rendon Howe will get what he deserves in time. Such deeds cannot go unpunished. Take heart, dear friend. You survived, even when you were not expected to. We do not know yet what lies in store for you, or the name you carry. It is not so bad, is it, being a Grey Warden?
I just wish my house didn't have to fall.
Sometimes it gives me comfort to think that everything will end up the way it's supposed to. That it will be all right. You were chosen. You survived the joining when others did not. Perhaps it was meant to be.
True.
I must ask, what does being a Grey Warden mean to you?
It means I've been chosen to do something important. That feels like I'm something drawn to. Yes.
There's that,
Yes,
of course. But there's more to being a Grey Warden than killing Darkspawn and saving the world from the Blight. Ultimately, being a Grey Warden is about serving others. About serving all people, whether elves or dwarves or men.
Unbiased. You mean to say I serve as the protector?
As a Grey Warden, you are a guardian of men, and you guard them because their continued existence is more important than you are. Thus it is you who serves, not they.
I will keep that in mind.
A good king, a true king who cares for his land, uses his power to rule firmly but fairly. He serves his people first and foremost. The king who does not do this, who believes that he is entitled to his power, who abuses it and uses it for his own means, is a tyrant.
That's true. So in a way, having power confines you. If I'm strong enough to take power, then I deserve it.
But we are not talking about how you came by the power, but what you do with it afterwards. If you live apart from others, and your actions affect only you, then you may do as you wish. But if you have power, influence, and strength, your every action will be as a drop of water in a clear, still pond. The drop causes ripples, and ripples spread. Think of how far they will go, how wide they will become, how will they affect the pond. But I've lectured enough for today. I should stop before I wear out my welcome. What's on your mind?
Lots of things. Why did the spirit choose to help you?
I have always had an affinity for the spirits of the Fade. As a child, I never feared my dreams because I knew they were there.
What about demons?
I could sense the demons, too, and their presence frightened me. It was the kindly spirits of the Fade that took the fear from me. I've always been able to feel the spirits, even if I never saw them. And as I nurtured my talent in the circle, I became more sensitive. I began to notice every time I was in the Fade, whether it was in a dream or in magical practice, that I was being watched.
Do spirits watch people like that?
I suppose they must. It is these benevolent spirits that create our dream worlds in the Fade. Sometimes I would see it, a glowing, nebulous form. Most times I would just feel its presence, gentle and comforting, but somehow alien. I think it is a spirit of faith. They have never been seen before, and perhaps I am wrong. But something tells me I'm not. It always felt like the same entity. This one spirit was curious about me, and was guarding me, for want of a better word.
You're very lucky.
There were times when I was in the Fade, that it seemed to stretch forth to shield me, keeping me safe. And I think it gave me strength in my most terrible battles, Ostagar being one of them.
So the spirit of faith is your personal protector.
I don't know why I was chosen. Perhaps it knew that there was something more that lay in store for me. I like to think that I was given a rare chance, and I'm going to make the best of the time so generously given to me.
I'm glad you think traveling with me is worthy of your time.
I will not lie motionless in a bed with coverlets up to my chin, waiting for death to claim me. That is not the death for me. And so I will fight alongside the Grey Warden, and help prepare her for the task that is yet before her. So you had better listen to me, because I swear, if I should fall before the end and you don't seem to be doing things properly, I'll get up again to give you a good finger-wagging.
I'll hold you to that promise.
You know, I think you'll be all right, even without my help. What's on your mind?
There's something we can do to cure you.
Cure me? What, am I sick now?
I guess death isn't an illness, is it?
Even you know that you cannot cure the dead. And I'm not the only one dying. You are too. I'm just more efficient about it. Ah, child, your concern is heartwarming. But death comes to everyone, and it is not something to fear.
I don't fear death, it's dying that scares me.
People fear not death, but having life taken from them. Many waste the life given to them, occupying themselves with things that do not matter. When the end comes, they say they did not have time enough to spend with loved ones, to fulfill dreams, to go on adventures they only talked about. But why should you fear death if you are happy with the life you have led? If you can look back on everything and say, yes, I am content, it is enough.
Are you content?
I think I've led a good life, a full life, and I, for one, am not afraid of death, whatever it may bring. They say that when you die, your spirit travels through the fade and returns to the Maker. And after that, we'll see, won't we? What's on your mind?
Do you have any regrets at all?
I try not to dwell too much on the mistakes of my past, of which there are many. I would go quite mad if I did that. But I do have one regret. The greatest misstep of my life, made even more grave because it had dire consequences for someone else.
Tell me, it might make you feel better.
Years ago, I was assigned as mentor to a lad, Anaren. He was my first apprentice. Anaren was an elf, raised in one of the elven alienages, and he was very mistrustful of humans, especially humans in authority.
I can see how this could be trouble.
What Anaren needed was time. Time to get used to his new home, time to emerge from his shell, so we could build a rapport. I gave him no such time. I was young and arrogant. He is a mage, I thought. He needs to grow up and act like one. I expected too much from him too quickly. I gave no consideration to his origin or his feelings, and he retreated further from me. All I could think of was how stubborn he was, how he was throwing away all his talent and his potential just to be difficult.
Was he talented?
Oh, very much so. Sometimes I would catch him practicing on his own, but if I asked him to show me what he could do, he would freeze up or fumble terribly. You cannot plant crops in the cold, wintry ground. You cannot teach a student who is closed off and unresponsive. Patience is what is needed, and I learned that too late to help him.
What happened to Anaren?
Anaren ran away from the circle one night. I had berated him over some trivial, ridiculous matter that I no longer remember. I drove him away because of something utterly unimportant. He was a child, 14 at the time of his leaving. They had his phylactery, and they hunted him down.
Who hunted him down?
The Templars. That is what they do. They hunt down and neutralize rogue mages. They called him Maleficar, a mage who practices forbidden magic, deserving of death. He was a child, misunderstood and lost. I begged the Templars to tell me if he suffered, if they gave him a quick death. I got no answers from them. I was his mentor, and they wouldn't even tell me what became of him.
It's not your fault, Wynne.
I should have known better. I had the best mentors. They were kind, compassionate. Why didn't I learn from them? I failed an errand. All I had to do was listen to him. He would try to talk to me, and I would tell him to concentrate on his spells. He talked about the alienage sometimes, and the Dalish. He always talked about looking for the Dalish elves.
Maybe he did find the Dalish.
The Templars are well trained and thorough. That he still lives, it would be a vain hope. The apprentices that came after Anarin benefited greatly from the lessons I learned from him. In a sense, he was my teacher, and I his student.
Maybe his sacrifice was worthwhile.
And there it is. My story, my one greatest regret. What's on your mind?
I was just thinking about being a Grey Warden.
Is something troubling you?
Everyone expects so much from me. I don't know, it's just difficult sometimes.
You are one of the 2 surviving Grey Wardens in Ferelden. You defend all of us, and much rests on your shoulders. It may not mean much to you, but thank you for having the courage to continue to fight.
I will be ready when the time comes.
And that gives me hope. Have you heard much about the Grey Wardens of old?
I knew they were more respected in the old days.
It was said that watching the Wardens ride in on their white griffins was enough to rouse a weary heart and put the dance back in the step of an old man. The Grey Wardens were powerful, feared and respected, but they also inspired the common people. I remember a tale that was told to me many years ago.
Go on.
The Blight had ravaged the land for months, and the armies of the great kings had amassed for one last stand. As the sun burst through the clouds that boiled and churned in the dark sky above, it illuminated a vast, seething horde of darkspawn, with the archdemon at its head. And it was then, when courage seemed to fail, and all lost to death and despair, that the Grey Wardens came. They arrived with the beating of wings like mighty war drums, and stood before the armies of men.
Then what happened then?
The Grey Wardens, grim and fearless, marched forth, ever between the men and the encroaching darkspawn. They formed a shield of their own bodies and held that line until the archdemon was dead, and the last darkspawn lay trampled in the dirt. And then, demanding neither reward nor recognition for their sacrifice, the Grey Wardens departed. When the clouds finally rolled back, and the sun shone full upon the blighted ground, the great kings knew that they had lost no men, and none of their blood had been spilled.
When did this happen?
This is a tale about no battle the Grey Wardens have fought, and yet about them all. They have always defended us from the Darkspawn, taking losses so we do not have to. People may have forgotten over the centuries, but nothing has changed. This knowledge has been blessing and burden to Grey Wardens past, and now it shall be your blessing and your burden. What's on your mind?
As a Grey Warden, I'll never lead a normal life, will I?
No, you won't.
Oh, she's so realistic. I love Wynne with her wisdom. But I don't think I was ever meant to be normal.
I don't think so either. You would not have been happy living a dull, uneventful life, dying in obscurity. You wonder sometimes, don't you? If your life would be better if you weren't who you are.
It's on my mind constantly.
When I was a young woman in the tower, I came to the realization that the circle would be my life, and I would know no other. Family, love, a simple life. These were things that others took for granted, that I would never have.
Grass is always greener on the other side.
It made me very moody. All I could think of was being trapped in that tower with no way out and no end in sight. I started hating my life and myself, and one night I found myself in the tower's chapel. I was seeking refuge, maybe answers.
Did you find any?
I must have looked tearful or made some noise, because the revered mother came out and decided to speak to me. And because I had no one else to talk to, I talked to her. I must have said many silly things, but she told me that the Maker puts us all on our paths for a reason, and fighting our intended course is what causes so much anguish.
I think she's right.
I thought the old biddy was full of rubbish. I was 15, maybe 16, and I knew everything. So I left, but I always found my way back to that chapel. And as the years passed, I began to see the truth of her words. We were supposed to be polar opposites, mage and priest. But we weren't. There was much about us that was the same.
I suppose priests have a lot to give, too.
The revered mother had lived in the chantry all her life, as I had been in the tower for all of mine. She taught me that you can find your family in the people around you, that you can love your work and find fulfillment in duty, and there is joy even in self-sacrifice. If you put others before yourself, then their well-being is yours, and their happiness is your happiness.
It won't be easy to live that way.
You can scream and cry and be angry about life as a Grey Warden, or you can accept it and allow yourself to see the good in it. This is your choice.
So wise. Such a wise woman. Does she have any more?
What's on your mind?
Nope. Other than the circle talk, but I don't
It
want
is
to
no
do
trouble.
the circle talk. We don't want circle talk. We just finished circle talk.
What say you?
You stare at everyone like that.
Not everyone, but a beautiful woman like yourself. Why not? I'm sure you draw many stares from men and even other women. Does this bother you?
Not really, no.
But you would prefer I desisted, perhaps. It would be difficult traveling as we do in close proximity, but I am nothing if not a gentleman.
A gentleman? That's too bad.
Oh, now this is intriguing. I shall have to redouble my efforts immediately. There was a young elven dancer in Antiva City once, and I believe I actually managed to stare off all 7 of her skirts. It's a trick worth retrying. Now that that is out of the way, perhaps we should move on. With you in front, of course. You look so tired, my dear. It is all this constant walking and fighting. I think I know what you need.
A good night's rest, maybe?
I'm thinking more drastic measures are called for, in fact. My thought is this. We retire to your tent, and I show you the sort of massage skills that one only learns growing up in an Antivan whorehouse.
Are you suggesting what I think you are?
If you mean to ask whether or not there might be more than a massage involved, allow me simply to say that you won't be disappointed with any of the techniques I've picked up over the years.
I don't know about this because that's not the love interest that I've decided to go with.
What is there to fear, my Grey Warden? You deserve a little fun, do you not? If you're not of a mind, however, it is no tragedy.
There's someone else.
Ah, my mistake. Say no more then. I take it all back.
Oh my goodness! How did I? Well, it didn't drop too bad. Oh my goodness! Gotta be careful which words you pick, at least.
What say you?
Questions?
By all means.
What does it take to become an assassin?
Well, the crows would have you believe that it is an involved process that takes years of training, the sort that tests both your resolve and your endurance. Survive that process and maybe, just maybe, you're good enough to start being considered one of them. But quite frankly, the truth is that all it requires is the desire to kill people for a living. It's surprising how well one can do in such a field.
Does it take any special skill?
I don't know about that.
Doesn't?
It's simply a slightly different skill set from your average killer as I see it. An assassin simply specializes in striking from stealth, and in maximizing that first attack to be as lethal as possible. Debilitate your foe, either by poison or by crippling their limbs, makes any follow-up combat you need to engage in that much simpler.
That sounds like it could be useful.
See? Getting paid for the act is beside the point. An assassin is more a tactical choice than a lifestyle. Of course, the crows like to pretend that their abilities are trade secrets, shrouded in shadows and wrapped in a blanket of mystery. So let's just keep this between you and me, shall we? Hmm? What say you?
Can you teach others to be an assassin?
I suppose the crows are already furious, yes? What harm is another tweak to their nose? If you wish to be trained in the basics of an assassin, I can certainly show you. Or anyone else who is also a rogue. It shall be fun. I will make it fun. I promise.
Nice.
What say you? By all means.
Why did you want to leave the crows exactly?
Well now, I imagine that's a very fair question. Being an assassin, after all, is a living, at least as far as such things go. I was simply never given the opportunity to choose another way. So, if that choice presents itself, why should I not seize upon it?
You didn't choose to join the crows?
To be truthful, I didn't even know the crows existed when I joined them. I was but a boy of 7 when I was purchased. For 3 sovereigns, I'm told. Which is a good price, considering I was all ribs and bone and didn't know the pommel of a dagger from the pointy end. The crows buy all their assassins that way. Buy them young, raise them to know nothing else but murder. And if you do poorly in your training, you die.
And the system works?
Of course. You compete against your fellow assassins, and those who survive are rightfully proud of it. In Antiva, being a crow gets you respect. It gets you wealth. Gets you women. And men. Or whatever it is you might fancy. But that does not mean doing what is expected of you always. And it means being expendable. It's It's a cage, if a gilded cage. Pretty, but confining.
You sound like you've been spoiled.
I certainly hope so. I have earned the crows a great deal of money, and none of it has come easily. As for what I'll do in the future, presuming that there is one, I truly can't imagine. It might be interesting to go into business for myself, for a change. Far away from Antiva, of course. For now, naturally, I go where you go.
I'm happy to have you along.
And here I am, happy to be had. Isn't it wonderful how things work out that way? Come now, enough chit-chat. Talking about the crows summons them, you know. Any Antivan fishwife could tell you so.
Oh, we went down one.
What say you? By all means. What say you? Oh, this should be good. What would you like to discuss?
Oh! No!
What
Let's
say
talk about more of the
By all
Antivan.
means.
Do you actually enjoy being an assassin?
And why not? There are many things to enjoy about being a crow in Antiva. You are respected, you are feared, the authorities go out of their way to overlook your trespasses, even the rewards are nothing to turn your nose up at. As for the killing part, well, some people simply need assassinating. Or do you disagree?
No, you're probably right.
I often find myself the instrument of fate, ending these lives for one necessity or another. I console myself with the notion that most of them had it coming. As far as enjoying the act of killing itself, why not? There is a certain artistry to the deed, the pleasure of sinking your blade into their flesh and knowing that their life is in your hands.
I know what you mean.
There are many things I did not enjoy about being a crow, of course. Having no choice, being treated as an expendable commodity, the rules, oh, so many rules. But simply being an assassin, I like it just fine. I will continue to do it if I can, even if I am not a crow. Honestly, could you picture me doing something else?
No, I suppose not.
Somehow that sounds less complimentary than I had anticipated. Of course, all these thoughts are moot. Chances are still good that you and I will perish, eaten by darkspawn or slain by the crows at some point. Very gruesomely, I imagine. But it is pleasant enough to chat about. Come, let's move on while our boots still have some wear in them. What say you? By all means.
What is your opinion of the Dalish?
I know little enough of the Dalish other than the fact that my mother was one, or so I was told. She had fallen in love with an elven woodcutter and accompanied him back to the city, leaving her clan behind for good. And there, of course, the woodcutter died of some filthy disease and my mother was forced into prostitution to pay off his debts. Oldest tale in the book.
Zevran, that's horrible.
Is it? It seemed normal enough a tale growing up. No different than the other elven boys in the whorehouse. I didn't know my mother either, of course. She died giving birth to me. My first victim, as it were. We were all raised communally by the whores. It was a happy enough existence, ignoring the occasional beating. Until eventually I was sold to the crows. I brought a good price, so I hear.
And yet you're oddly cheerful about it all.
It could have been much worse. Shall I tell you about what happened to the other whorehouse boys who did not fetch a decent price with the crows? Surely your life has not been so idyllic. People like you and I are not the product of happy lives of contentment, after all.
It's true. Say that again.
My original point is that my mother's Dalish nature was always a point of fascination for me. Through all the years of my crow training, the one thing of my mother's that I possessed was a pair of gloves. They were of Dalish make, I knew that much, and beautiful. I had to keep them hidden, of course, as we were not allowed such things. Eventually, they were discovered, and I never saw them again.
don't think of yourself as Dalish.
Not at all. I think of myself as Antivan. Still, that did not stop me from running off to join a clan when I drew near Antiva City once. Naturally, the reality did not live up at all to the fantasies I had constructed as a boy, staring at those gloves. But such is life. Come, enough talk of the Dalish. Let us move on. What say you? By all means.
Tell me more about Antiva.
Oh, you wish to know about Antiva, do you? The only way to truly appreciate it would be to go there. It is a warm place, not cold and harsh like this Ferelden. In Antiva it rains often, but the flowers are always in bloom. Or so the saying goes.
Don't you want to go back?
It's not really a matter of wanting to go back. I cannot go. At least not yet. I hail from the glorious Antiva City, home to the royal palace. It is a glittering gem amidst the sand, my Antiva City. Do you come from someplace comparable?
I was born in Highever in the north.
Oh, I have never seen that place. I am sure it has its charms, and its dogs. You know what is most odd? We speak of my homeland, and for all its wine and its dark-haired beauties and the lilo flutes of the minstrels, I miss the leather the most.
Is that some kind of euphemism?
It may as well be, but not this once, no. I mean the smell. For years, I lived in a tiny apartment near Antiva City's leather-making district, in a building where the crows stored their youngest recruits, packed in like crates. I grew accustomed to the stench, even though the humans complained of it constantly. To this day, the smell of fresh leather is what reminds me most of home more than anything else.
You sound like you've been away from home forever.
Oh, not so long, I know. It is my first time away from Antiva, however, and the thought of never returning makes me think of it constantly. Before I left, I was tempted to spend what little coin I possessed on leather boots I spotted in a store window. Finest Antivan leather. Perfect craftsmanship. But I was a fool to leave them. I thought, Zevran, you can buy them when you return as a reward for a job well done. More the fool I, no?
Your home is still there, Zevran.
True, and it's a comforting thought. One simply never knows what is to come next. How could I have suspected I would end up defeated by a beautiful Grey Warden, a woman who then spares my life? I could not.
Now you're flattering me.
I say you are beautiful because it is true. Should I not?
No, by all means.
And glad I am to hear it. Now, if it is all the same to you, I would prefer not to speak more of Antiva. It makes me wistful and hungry for a proper meal.
That is valid.
What say you? By all means.
Tell me about your adventures.
My adventures? I'm hardly an old man just returned from across the ocean, am I? Should I shake my fist at nearby children while I talk about the good old days?
You certainly talk like you had adventures.
Falling down a flight of stairs is an adventure. Falling into someone's bed, also an adventure. I am assuming what you're looking for are professional anecdotes. Let's see, my second mission ever for the Crows was a bit intriguing. I was sent to kill a mage who had been meddling in politics.
The crows were willing to anger the Circle of Magi?
In Antiva, nobody is too important to escape the reach of the Crows. They've killed kings and queens. That is simply how it is. As it turned out, the mage in question was quite a delightful young woman. Long, divine legs, as I recall. I caught her in a carriage on her way to escape to the provinces. After I killed her guard, she got down on her hands and knees and begged for her life. Rather aptly, I might add. So I joined her in the carriage for the night and left the next morning.
And she didn't try to kill you?
Well, yes, twice, actually. Then she decided to try and use me instead. The woman had actually convinced me to speak to the Crows on her behalf. What can I say? I was young and foolish at the time. Then, as I was kissing her goodbye to return to Antiva City, she slipped on the threshold and fell backwards out of the carriage. Broke her neck. Shame, really, but at least it happened quickly.
Were you upset?
At first, yes. Well, not upset. Surprised is really a better word. Then I found out that she had told the driver to take her to Janellan instead. She had planned to lose me in the provinces. I would have looked very foolish to the crows. As it was, my master was very impressed that I had done such a fine job of making it look like an accident. The Circle of Magi was unaware of foul play, and everyone was happier all around.
You got lucky.
I got stupid, in fact, and very lucky. It was after that when I learned that one needn't let a pretty face go to your head. Professionalism was key. That's my moral of the day, you see.
A wise lesson to learn.
And one that not everyone learns, I'm sad to say. But that's enough tale spinning from me for the moment. Talking about the mage has made me a bit nostalgic, I'm afraid. Ah, the good old days.
I acquired a skill. Is there anything left?
What say you? By all means.
No. So tell me more about your adventure.
Again? Well now, what might interest you, I wonder? Shall I describe the stages involved with Lanthrax poisoning? I watched a man go through all 7 once.
That sounds like fun.
Haha, you have rather macabre tastes, I see. I like that. Let's see, how about the largest battle I ever took part in? That would have been the slaughter of Prince Oghren. Did you hear of that down in these parts?
I doubt it.
Prince Oghren was 4th in line to the throne, you see. He started off as 11th, but worked his way up the old-fashioned method by inheriting control of an entire Crocel from his grandfather. After assassinating his way through the royal family, the king hired 3 other cells to take down Prince Oghren once and for all. I was in one of those cells.
Why not simply arrest him?
Prince Oghren was too powerful. Who could you send to arrest the man that wasn't either in his pocket or that didn't fear being assassinated first? Antivan royalty is very much bound up in the crows. You wouldn't want it run by a bunch of commoners, after all, would you? And this means they get involved in politics quite often. This particular fight nearly bankrupted the nation, I understand. It almost ended up putting a crow on the throne, a commoner. But that's a whole different story. I played a very small part.
What did you do?
My part in the entire battle was taken up trying to reach Princess Verina, who had thrown in with her brother. I killed about 11 of her guards personally before I got knocked out of a window. I landed in a river and nearly drowned. I was fished out by some urchins who robbed me blind. Made off with my boots, too. At least they didn't cut my throat. And that was my part in history.
You're very lucky indeed.
It's true. I live a charmed life. One of the prostitutes that raised me was a fortune teller. Said I wouldn't die young. She was rather startled by that. But there you go. Tale told. Let's be off before I tell more embarrassing stories, huh?
I think that's it with Zevran. We have Wynne, which we've done. We have Oghren, which I'll save last. And then Alistair.
Yes?
I have questions.
Of course.
Why did you keep your birthright a secret?
You never asked?
I'm hurt that you didn't trust me.
No, please don't think that. It's not that I didn't trust you. It's... Please, let me try to explain. The thing is, I'm used to not telling anyone who didn't already know. It was always a secret. Even Duncan was the only Grey Warden who knew. And then, after the battle, when I should have told you... I don't know, it seemed like it was too late by then. How do you just tell someone that?
I guess I can understand that.
I should have told you, anyway. It was important for you to know. I guess part of me likes you not knowing.
Why? What would happen when people find out?
They treat me differently. I become the bastard prince to them, instead of just Alistair. I know that must sound stupid to you, but I hate that it shaped my entire life. I never wanted it, and I certainly don't want to be king. The very idea of it terrifies me.
Doesn't sound stupid at all.
For all the good it does me, my blood seems certain to haunt me no matter what I do. And now Arleman plans to put me forward as the heir. It never ends, does it? For what it's worth, I'm sorry for not telling you sooner. I guess I was just hoping that you would like me for who I am. It was a dumb thing to do.
Don't worry about it, Alistair. No harm done.
I guess it's kind of a relief that you know now. Let's go. So, all this time we've spent together, you know, the tragedy, the brushes with death, the constant battles with the whole blight looming over us. Will you miss it once it's over?
Miss the constant battles or miss you? That one.
I know it might sound strange, considering we haven't known each other for very long, but I've come to care for you a great deal. I think maybe it's because we've gone through so much together. I don't know. Or maybe I'm imagining it. Maybe I'm fooling myself. Am I? Fooling myself? Or do you think you might ever feel the same way about me?
What should I choose? I don't know. It's too soon. You know what? Fudge it. I think I already do.
So I fooled you, did I?
Oh my goodness.
Good to know.
Well, that was the ideal love interest.
That wasn't too soon, was it?
No.
Good. I'll take that as a good sign. Maker's breath, but you're beautiful. I am a lucky man. Now, let's get back to what we were up to before, lest I forget why we're here.
Valid.
Your desire is my command.
Damn. That threw me off a little bit. Oh, questions.
Of course.
Yes. What can a Templar do exactly?
Essentially, they're trained to fight. The Chantry would tell you that the Templars exist simply to defend. But don't let them fool you. They're an army. The other main purpose for a Templar is, of course, to hunt mages. To that end, we train in talents that drain mana and disrupt spells.
So Templars use magic themselves?
You could call it that, sure. The Chantry doesn't look on it the same way, however, since really our talents only work on mages. Against a regular person, I'm just a guy in a metal suit.
Have you hunted any mages?
No, I never actually became a full Templar. Duncan recruited me before I took my vows. I was only present during one harrowing. The ritual that they test the mages with. It's not unlike our joining, really. And just as deadly. The girl they tested, she had a demon put inside her to see if she could resist. And she couldn't. We had to end it quickly. I have to say I didn't have much interest in becoming a Templar after that.
So, couldn't others learn these talents?
Perhaps, but there usually isn't much of an opportunity. The Chantry keeps a close rein on its Templars. We are given lyrium to help develop our magical talents, you see. Which means we become addicted. And since the Chantry controls the lyrium trade with the dwarves, well, I'm sure you can put two and two together.
So you were addicted to this lyrium?
Thankfully, no. You only start receiving lyrium once you've taken your vows. You don't need lyrium in order to learn the Templar talents. Lyrium just makes Templar's talents more effective. Or so I was told. Maybe it doesn't even do that. The Chantry usually doesn't let their Templars get away either, so they can spread their secrets. I'm a bit of an exception. Lucky me.
Oops.
Your desire is my command. Of course.
Well, how did you become a Grey
Same way you did. You drink some blood, you choke on it, and pass out.
Yeah.
You haven't forgotten already, have you?
Haha, very funny.
I do my best. What can I say? Let's see, I was in the Chantry before. I trained for many years to become a Templar, in fact. That's where I learned most of my skills.
So you mentioned before.
It's really for the best. I'm not exactly the Chantry type, if you haven't noticed. I don't think I would have made a very good Templar. The Grand Cleric didn't want to let me go. Duncan was forced to conscript me, actually, and was she ever furious when he did. I thought she was going to have us both arrested. I was lucky.
Why did the Grand Cleric want to keep you?
I wondered that myself. It's not as if she valued me highly. I think she just didn't want to give anything to the Grey Wardens, is all. The Chantry didn't lose much. And I think I can do more fighting the Blight anyhow, rather than sitting in a temple somewhere. I'll always be thankful to Duncan for recruiting me. If it hadn't been for him, you know, I wouldn't have.
He was a good man.
He was. A good man who didn't deserve his fate. That much I'm sure of. Come on, let's go. I think I'm done talking.
It's valid.
Your desire is my command.
I'd like to discuss something private.
Well, we're in camp. Now's as good a time as any to talk, right?
Oh. Aw, I need to tell you how much I enjoy your company.
You know, I was just thinking the same thing. Given the circumstances, things could have been so much worse. I'm so grateful that you're you, instead of some other Grey Warden. That sounded better in my head. I just mean to say that I've really come to care about you.
Aw. Ah, you're so giving. No, we're not going with that. I feel the same way.
Now we just need to be rid of that pesky archdemon, and everything will be back to normal, right?
So cute. He's so cute. Adore. Aw.
Your desire is my command.
Stop it.
Well, we're in camp. Now's as good a time as any to talk, right?
Here we're going to become a little bit inappropriate. How would you like to join me in my tent?
Join you? In your tent?
If you don't want to.
Oh, that's not it at all. Not that I want to seem overeager. I must sound like a fool. You know that I've never done anything like this with anyone. I was quite sheltered after all. I care for you so much. Whenever I think of this, I feel like a bumbling idiot. All
Cute.
hands. I wish I could be better at this. I want it to be right.
He's so cute. Would you rather we wait?
I don't know. I'm willing to give it a shot, if you are.
Give it a shot. You weren't wrong about the idiot part. Yes, I'm willing. Laughs.
Right. I'm going to
Oh my goodness.
stop talking now. I don't know what to do with myself. Oh my goodness.
Okay, nothing inappropriate.
You know, according to all the sisters at the monastery, I should have been struck by lightning by now.
Not sure for that to perform. Oh. It could still happen.
Sure. But if you get hit by the lightning afterwards, it hardly seems like an effective deterrent. You do realize the rest of our little party here is going to talk, right?
Yes.
They do that.
Why? What are you going to tell them?
I won't have to. Morrigan will give me that look. I just know it. You should really kick her ass for me. I'd pay to watch that fight. So, what now? Where do we go from here?
We stay together no matter what happens. Yes!
Right, I can handle that. I hope. Before we go, I just want to thank you. No one's ever made me feel this way. I wasn't sure it could happen, in fact.
Closed off, dry sense of humor. Yeah, I could see that. You don't need to thank me, that's it.
I did, actually, but let's get moving.
Oh, achievement unlocked. First night. My goodness. I didn't know how I was going to edit that. Because certain things were going to show. I don't remember how that scene went. If I got to hide some nip-naps. Pallywhacks. Well, if we went with Alistair, we'd still probably talk about more Grey Warden stuff. Then we have the Templars, or not Templars, the Circle with Wynne, Assassins, Bard, Kunari, and the Wilds. I think we're done talking to her, so we're gonna go with Oghren.
There you are.
Oh.
Wanted to talk to you.
What about?
You and I, you know how sometimes you spend time with people and things.
Take your time. What is it?
I was thinking, I do know some people out here on the surface. A person, actually. A girl I knew in Orzammar. Before I left, obviously.
A girl you knew, or a girl you knew?
What? Oh, you mean were we rutting?
Oh.
Oh, aye. After Bronca left for the deep roads. Name's Felsi. She was a fiery one. I'm sure she's forgiven me by now. Thought maybe I'd track her down, see how she's been living.
How do you know to find her?
I tried to look her up the last time we were at Lake Calenhad. She wasn't at work at the inn. At home with her sick mother, they said. I figured it was just the ancestors telling me something. But I keep thinking about her.
We can go back.
Well, and a good friend you are, Warden. I'll think about you if we ever... no, actually, that would be gross. No, what was it you wanted to say?
I don't know. I'd like to know more about you. Let's start
What
there.
about?
Are you sure you're fine with what happened to Bronca?
Oh, sure. I'm fine with it. I mean, she was a real firebrand between the sheets, but a bit soft in the skull, you know what I mean? Explains why she left, anyway.
I imagine she wasn't that crazy when she left.
Oh, you don't know her. She was cracked like a glass floor. Before she was a paragon, I mean. After that, she really fell apart. I mean, she leaves me and flits about with that water-dart Hespith. What's she got that I don't? Just the thought of the two of them together, kissing and licking and intertwined on the floor of the deep
Well, don't
roads.
think about it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go back to the tent for a moment.
Excuse me.
Oh, I love the cringing moments. It makes me feel. Let's finish
Come
this.
to talk to old Oghren, have you? Don't know why.
I like to know why. Oh no, what's wrong, Oghren?
Nothing. I'm fine. Just, I got a hornet in my eye is all. Did you want to talk about something?
Can you teach me to fight like you do?
You want to be a berserker? Thought I'd never see the day. You're a monster on the field already, Warden. But your style just doesn't give itself to mad rage. Too much thinking, too much, finesse. But if you know someone fit for this type of work, I'll teach him. It'll be nice to have another berserker to grunt at for a change.
That sounds fair.
If you want to think like a berserker, drop fair from your vocabulary. If it works, that's all.
I'd like to know more. Well, I don't think we need to learn more about him.
Aye, alright then.
Unless he's going to be a love interest, but I think that's it. What is Sten? Sten's a champion. I've been playing, and the world explored 67. Okay, so I'm gonna end this here. I think we've done enough conversations to trigger some events, but I'm probably gonna do a few replays. But don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Au revoir, auf Wiedersehen, bye.